Chapter 3 Gone with the Wind. Mr. and Mrs. Carter were pleased with the progress they had made. Rosie took one final selfie of their energetic efforts with the leaves. Test Tube went back inside with Dr. Stringer and spent a quiet evening washing his paws. The doctor worked in the lab, mixing chemicals, experimenting, and recording reactions. It was a normal evening in the Stringer house. Dr. Stringer looked out the window after hearing thunder roar close by. Suddenly, there was a flash of lightning. The winds blew harder and harder. "No, no, no," he wailed. "Look, Test Tube, there are more leaves in the yard than before the neighbors raked them." The storm affected the Carter house, too. Their lights started to flicker. Rosie ran to the window. She could hear the wind howling and dreaded the sight that she might see. Jerry came over to take a peek. "So tell me, how bad is it?" he asked. "Are there more leaves on the ground than we gathered today?" He had to cover his eyes like a little kid does during a scary movie. He just peeked through a couple of his fingers. Rosie gave Jerry a long, tight hug as she broke the news. "Sorry, it's the worst-case scenario," she reported with a tired sigh. Jerry uncovered his eyes and glared out the window. He mumbled several inaudible words under his breath. Both he and Rosie crashed on the sofa like two defeated athletes. Their heads were on the back of the sofa, looking up to the heavens. Their legs were straight ahead, but wide apart. Their arms slumped, and they had their hands open at their sides. They were just plain worn out. They knew they would have to do it all over again after the storm. "Let's just go to bed," Rosie suggested. Jerry followed her to the bedroom. Dr. Stringer and Test Tube were getting sleepy too. The sounds of the pouring rain were lulling them to sleep. Soon their peace was disturbed by a loud clap of thunder. The sudden noise startled them to attention. Dr. Stringer was horrified when he saw a puddle of water rising up on the basement floor. He, too, mumbled some inaudible words under his breath. He got up to check that his sub-pump was ready for action. He fumbled through his desk drawers to find a flashlight. He grumbled as he found his raincoat. He grumbled some more when he put on his rain boots. "I have to go outside, Test Tube. Don't drink that rainwater off the floor. Something is clogging up the drain pipe. I know it's those pesky leaves again. Leaves, leaves, leave us alone." Off he went. Test Tube stayed inside. He stayed high and dry on a chair. He mewed and yawned. Sure enough, it was those annoying leaves. They had managed to collect and were clogging the eaves and pipes. He took a broom and cleared both places. The rain poured on his head. The wind howled and nearly knocked him over. He was having trouble seeing with all the raindrops that had gotten on his glasses. He slipped a few times on those wet leaves, but made it safely back to the basement. He slammed the door shut. He went to bed and covered his head with a pillow.